Hi lovely people, if you're new here, my name is Miriaki, and if you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, my channel is all about beauty and lifestyle. If you're interested in all that, please consider subscribing. Okay, so today's video I'm going to be showing you the right way to use setting powder, the right way to set your makeup, okay, the right way to apply setting powder. So as you can see, I'm done with my foundation, I'm done with my cream contouring and cream highlight. So I'm going to be showing you the next step after you do all that. To set all over my face, I'm going to be using my V Beauty powder palette. This powder palette, guys, is amazing. It has basically everything. I think if you get this powder palette, you will not even need to get a contour palette, separate contour palette, because it has two amazing dark shades here that can literally go for every skin shade. So I'm going to be using for my shade, I think it's this one, okay? So I'm going to be using this all over my face, like to set my foundation. Before I even go ahead to use any setting powder under my eyes, I always, first of all, the first thing I always do is to use a powder shade closer to my shade. Like in this case, I'm going to be using this shade actually, okay? I'm going to be using it to just to set. Before I even go ahead to set my under eyes, I make sure that I have gone in again to blend, to make sure that I don't have any creases at all, okay? And make sure that there are no creases whatsoever under my eyes, like so. Because if you still have creases and then you go ahead to set, the crease is going to remain there. There is nothing you're going to do about it after you set. That is why it's very important to have a very smooth, well blended foundation application and concealer application, so that when you set, everything is going to be flawless at the end of the day. Make sure that before you go in with powder above your foundation or your concealer, make sure that you have blended everything and the concealer or foundation is dried down before you go ahead to use your setting powder or your powders, okay? So now I'm going to be using that shade that I showed you earlier on, and I'm going to be applying it above the concealer, on top of the areas where I applied my concealer, okay? I'm just pressing that shade into that concealer shade. I'm pressing it. This is setting. This is not baking. I'm not baking yet. This is the right way to bake. The right way to set is the way I'm showing you right now. I'm going down here too, okay? Then my forehead, I'm still to draw my brows, so I'm going to be doing this on my brows too, so that I can easily draw them later on when I'm about drawing them. I usually have highlight there. Now comes the baking part, okay? I'm going to be using my Black Radiance setting powder. I'm going to be using my Black Radiance setting powder, and to begin, I actually use this small beauty blender here. I'm taking some of that powder and I'll be pressing it into my skin. I'm not yet packing, I've just taken a little bit of that powder, okay? So I'm pressing the powder into my skin until it disappears. Can you understand? I'm still setting. This is still a process of setting. I'm not yet baking. I'm actually pushing the powder in. I'm pushing it right into my skin. Make sure you look up to get all those creases, okay? Set. I'm using a smaller beauty blender so that I can be able to be precise. I could use a bigger one, but this smaller one just allows me to do it with ease, okay? You can see how I'm bringing the setting powder closer to the sides of my nose, right? For the bridge of my nose, I just I try to place the powder on top of the concealer there. You can actually use a brush to apply this so that you don't mess it up. Remember, we only applied some here. Oh my god, I'm having a crooked line. This is supposed to actually be straight. I prefer you use a brush to apply this one, okay? So that it's not going to be slanted the way I did mine. So please, if you allow it to get crooked the way I did, by the time you blend it out, it's going to look crooked. So please endeavor to make it look straight. I'm trying to use a smaller mirror here, and it's really been hard for me. So I also go ahead and apply some here. I love this black radiant setting powder because the black radiant setting powder it has like it's finely grilled, like it's fine. I don't know if to say grains. Does it have grains? It's fine, and the way it gets to melt into your skin is just so amazing. You guys see the way it's just melting in. I think it's one of my favorites. Okay, now after doing this, you've pressed the powder in. It has actually gone deep into your skin, sucked up almost all the oils. Now you go for baking. Okay, now it's time for baking. You now go ahead and spread some of that powder. That is if you want to bake. I actually don't bake for a long time anymore because it only allows my makeup become more and more cakey. So I only do this for a short while, especially when I know I'll be going in to blend as soon as possible. So what I'm doing here right now is called reverse contouring. So I'm also going to be setting my brows so that I'm going to be drawing them very soon. When I'm drawing them, my pencil is going to glide on very easily. So yeah, that is simply how you use setting powders. You don't just go in with a lot of it and then you pack it on and yeah, you see you've baked or this only leaves your skin looking cakey and all the like. Okay, so I'm going to be using to contour my face because I haven't contoured yet. I'm going to be using this Fashion Fair pressed powder in Sable. Okay, it's like this reddish tone. I'm going to be using it to bronze my skin. It looks like this. It has this nice beautiful earth tone. I'm going to be using it to contour my face. Okay, and I'll be using this my beautiful shiny brush here. So I'll be taking some of that and then I'm using that to contour. Okay, it has a very nice warm shade. Can you guys see? Oh my goodness, and it's super pigmented. If you're not careful, this might go overboard. So I'm bringing it up into my hairline. So this has actually acted like my blush and because it has like a reddish shade as well as a brown shade. It's just going to act like my blush and my, anyway, let me see. I could still add blush, so let me not just say it's going to act like my blush. So oh my goodness, I really love this shade. It's amazing. So I'll also take that above here. For my double chin girls, don't forget to erase that double chin below here with some powder. I'll be using this powder, the same powder. You can use a powder that is one shade below this. That is because your nose contour is not supposed to be that harsh. But if I'm telling you I'm going to use it, that means I'm going to be using just a piece like this. I'm barely even touching the pan. I'm just swiping that empty space there, and then I top off the excess, and then I'll be contouring. So to contour, I'm bringing it on top of my nose and I'm taking it into my brows and beneath my brows. You should raise your brows a bit so that you can be able to get into this space here. I'll just basically be doing the same thing, okay? I'm trying to thin out that highlight. You guys know we messed up when we were trying to apply our setting powder, so I've corrected that with our shade, with our contour shade. So I'm just taking that beneath my brows. Make sure it blends so well. We don't want to see some too heavy harsh lines coming down your nose, okay? Just blend and blend and blend. The more you go into your nose with this dark shade, the more your nose is going to look slim, okay? For blush, I'll be using the Warrior 2 palette by Juvia's. That's what I'll be using. I'll be using the orange shade that is in this palette, okay? I'll just be taking that and then smile. What is life without blush, my loves? I just feel like I should keep packing it on and packing it on and on and on and on, Miriam. Can you stop already? Okay, I've stopped. That's basically how you highlight and how you contour. So I don't want this video to be so long, so I'm going to be going off camera to finish my brows and my eye work, and then I'll be back to show you guys the finished look. Okay guys, so here is the finished look. I hope you liked it, and please, in case you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing, like my video if you liked it, and please leave me a thumbs up, okay? This helps my channel to grow. See you hopefully in my next video. Bye.